Hello, everyone. I was doing some research recently, especially over the last few weeks, on the rebuilding of the Third Temple and all the news that has been surrounding it lately, especially from the Temple Institute. Anyway, you know how sometimes we stumble across information that we're not intending to stumble across, but maybe the Holy Spirit allows it in our path because it was His plan that you see it? Well, as I was doing my research on the Third Temple and the last days, I came across information about the First and Second temples that I found was interesting, and that I wanted to share with you. And maybe this is old news to you, but I found it interesting and thought I would share it anyway. In the First Temple, there was, of course, the Holy of Holies, and within the Holy of Holies, there was the mercy seat and the Ark of the Covenant. I found out recently, like I said, just doing research about the Third Temple and the last days, that the Second Temple that was built by Herod the Great did not have the Ark of the Covenant in the Holy of Holies. They had instead something called the Stone of Foundation. And immediately I felt the Lord telling me, type in the Stone of Foundation and compare it to, and look into Freemasonry. And sure enough, there's a connection. So the First Temple had the Ark of the Covenant in the Holy of Holies, but the Second Temple did not. It had what's called the Stone of Foundation. In Judaism, or in Hebrew, they call it the Shetiyah, which is spelled Shetiyah, Shetiyah. So if you type in Shetiyah, or you type in the Stone of Foundation in the Second Temple, it's very interesting. Because and then you link that to Freemasonry and the builders, quote unquote, it's very connected. So I can see how when the Third Temple is built, as was prophesied by Paul to the Thessalonians, as well as in the book of Daniel, I can see how this stone of foundation could be used by Freemasonry to bring about Solomon's Third Temple. Freemasonry is very big in this New World Order, the practice of Freemasonry, which I believe to be satanic. But I can see how Satan could use this through the man of sin in the Holy of Holies to represent the builders. And remember, when Jesus was talking, even in the Gospels, he spoke to the builders, which tells me that even back then, in the time of Christ, Freemasonry was alive and well and being practiced. Remember when Jesus said, the stone the builders rejected has become the cornerstone, and all who trouble themselves with it will be crushed to pieces. Well, of course, Jesus was speaking to the builders at the time, and of course, a nickname or another name for Freemasons is the builders. So I found that interesting that during the time of Jesus, when he walked this earth, during the Second Temple period, rather than having the Ark of the Covenant in the Holy of Holies, they had something called the Stone of Foundation. And if you type in the Stone of Foundation, and then maybe next to it put Freemasonry, you're going to find a lot of interesting information, even information that could be valuable or give you insight into what may be taking place in the building of the Third Temple and some of the reasoning behind that. I really believe, like I said, that the papacy in Rome and the Jesuit order themselves work very closely with Freemasons to bring about this global New World Order. Remember, they're trying to bring about global peace and a global government apart from Christ. That's why Jesus said the stone, meaning himself, that you builders have rejected will become the cornerstone. So Jesus was saying he is that stone, that he is that foundation upon which no man can build any other foundation except with Christ. He is the foundation. But Satan has been trying since the book of Genesis to create his own global government and position himself as the world's leader. Remember, he will be as the Most High, he said. So this has been his plan from the beginning, and he's working through the Jesuit order, the papacy in Rome, this New World Order plan, Freemasonry, you name it, it's all linked. But getting back to it, I think this is interesting when, and of course only the Lord knows when the Third Temple will be built, so that the Antichrist may walk into it and declare himself God. But I strongly believe that the Third Temple is connected with the Freemasons or the builders. But what I found interesting is that Jesus referenced Freemasonry and the builders of his time. But just, do me a favor, if you get a chance or if you feel interested or led, look up the Stone of Foundation in the Second Temple and how this has to do with Freemasonry. I think you'll find it interesting. It's too much for me to get into in this video. Like I said, the Lord happened to have me stumble across it while I was doing some research of my own about the Third Temple. But I don't think it's a coincidence that he had me see these things. Anyway, it's just some information that you might find interesting in your study of prophetic topics. So God bless you for considering it, and have a great day today, and keep looking up and watching.